Hello everyone and welcome into the 3-digit World Cup round of 16. This is a matchup between Countryless West and Sweden, our number 3 seeded team, versus the number 14 seeded Sweden in this matchup. Countryless West with a pretty solid roster overall. You have their captain Ramon 2, otherwise known as Hammy TR, Wolfie, Danit, Ribo, Riot, and Unexpected on that team. Sweden captained by Saika, joined by Blue, Yagako, Lightwine, Knots, and Scylla or Skilla. My name is Dio. I'm going to be taking you through this matchup between these two teams. Already have a few of the bans coming out here. Nomad 6 first ban for Countryless West, wanting to get rid of that flame-based low approach rate stream map there in Daisuke. No DT4 allowed from Sweden. Countryless West, one of the better double-time teams in general in the tournament. Looking through the qualifier results, you see Countryless West with the top score on double time 2 and still above 3 million on DT1, which in 3v3 is a pretty solid overall team score here. Sweden, I think, going to be trying to match up to a lot of the scores that Countryless West has. I think the only places where Sweden really has comparable scores, at least out of qualifiers, is in places like Nomad 3, where they do have a straight-up advantage. The Nomad 4 and Hidden 1 were all relatively close scores between the two of them. Same for Hidden 2 as well. Relatively good score on Hidden 2 for both teams. The number 3 score overall for Countryless West, and I believe the number 4 score overall on that map for Sweden. But I think that also extends to Hard Rock 2 as well, the precision pick. Definitely Sweden not going to be going in on a lot of the tapping maps. Very poor scores on Nomad 2, DT1, and DT2 in the qualifiers for them. Hard Rock 3 also going to be banned out by Countryless West here. That is the precision pick, which, of course, they did not have the best of times on. Relatively close scores for both of those teams on Hard Rock 2 in qualifiers. Here, Hard Rock 3. There's going to be a Hidden 1 ban for Sweden as well. The awkward aim in Rolling Girl going to be making its way into this match. I am a little surprised to see both Nomad 5 and DT2 left up alongside Nomad 2 in this match. Sweden definitely not a team that you would expect to leave those up, let alone pick them against Countryless right now. This is definitely a surprising pick looking at the qualifier results and how good Countryless West was at stream maps and speed maps in comparison. Sweden having a very lackluster performance on these types of maps within qualifiers specifically, but clearly not fazed by it and expecting to still perform well on these types of maps, which frankly do work pretty well for their team overall. I think that they have a lot of players who can be very good at these types of maps. The question is whether or not they can execute them on them in match compared to the powerhouse roster that Countryless West has for some of these speedier picks. Talk about some of the players on both of these teams. Ramon2 and Riot, both top 10 individual performers for Countryless West, number 2 and number 7 overall in individual performance, and pretty deservedly so. Ramon2 playing everything besides Nomad 1 and Hard Rock 1, and dropping 900k or more on 6 out of 8 maps. The other two scores 600k and 700k for Ramon2. So incredibly dominant performance. Of course, I've seen both Double Times and Nomad 2 for Countryless West in qualifiers. Riot with a very similar performance overall. Played more maps and had a few more rougher scores around the edges. 4 of those scores around 4 to 700,000, but the rest of them all full combos, and again a double full combo on both PTs. So very, very solid overall performance for Riot in the qualifying round. We expect to see both of those players in alongside. I think Donnet is a very good choice for Countryless West, a player who is pretty well known at this point for being a very, very solid speed player and a good fill-in on some of those speedier maps. Also, the third player for Countryless West who went in on that Double Time 2 and full comboed in qualifiers for their 3-way FC on that map. Saika, Lightwine, and Yagako, I think, all make pretty good sense for this map for Sweden. Scylla was their best individual performer for Sweden. Played every single map, every map besides Nomad 2, and had a pretty good time of everything except for Hard Rock 2. 7 out of 9 scores. Excuse me, 8 out of 9 scores. 700k or above. 7 out of 9 scores, 900k or above for that player. But these 3 members in particular are going to be much better on the speed maps, I believe. Saika, pretty well-known speed and stream player for Team Sweden, and Lightwine and Yako, I think, despite being a bit newer to the tournament scene, definitely still known enough for their ability to perform on these types of maps. Lightwine was the same to match the early misaims coming out of both Donnet and Ramon2. Riot still holding the only full combo right now for Countryless West as Yagako and Saika continue the 2-way FC for Sweden at the moment. And Donnet misses the very end of that stream. This is not looking as good for Countryless West as you might think, looking at qualifiers specifically. Still the 2-way full combo coming out from Saika and Yagako right now. Combo advantage on one of those FCs over Ramon2's reverse choke. And big combo advantage for either player over Donnet at the moment. Creative misses for Donnet and Yagako, which does favor Countryless West a bit. It's now a 300 combo lead for Countryless West with Ramon2's extra combo over Lightwine. Donnet missing a second time in short order is not going to help this combo lead, which I think at this point is largely evened out by those extra misses coming out of Donnet. And despite the chances given to them by Sweden to take this as a breakpoint on the first pick, Countryless West unable to do so. Sweden able to keep the nerves together on the first pick well enough. Saika, especially with the full combo, 99.2% AC on that to match the FC coming out of Riot and keep the point within grasp. A good first pick for Sweden. You're looking for Countryless West, I think, to just pick into the maps that they are most comfortable on here. You could pick into some of the maps that Sweden is weakest on, but frankly, I think these teams share a couple of weaknesses. And so when you're up against a team like that as Countryless West, you really just want to pick the maps that your players are most comfortable on. There are a few maps where I think they might be especially poised to take victory. For example, Nomad 2, I think, can be a place where Countryless West has a really, really solid chance of doing very well. And it is going to be that Nomad 2 pick for Countryless West. Grand Chariot by Psy, 191 BPM stream map. For most players at this level, this is not going to be a significant test of stamina. For a lot of players, 4-digit and under, it can be a test of that stamina. But for the players who go in for this here, it very much so is going to be, I think, a pretty simple stream map in terms of stamina. The main draw here really is the flow aim regarding this map. You're not going to find a lot of players who go in for this and have trouble keeping up with any of the streams, and so the main test here is how well you can hold the nerves, how well you can be consistent at the flow aim regarding it, and whether or not you mistap or mess up your form while tapping and accidentally over tap, under tap, or drop notes randomly. Very, very similar rosters for both of these teams. Not swapping in for Yageko on the side of Sweden. Rebo swapping in for Danet on the side of Countryless West, but both other members staying the same for either side. Ramon 2 with an early drop. The early misaim coming out means big combo advantage for Sweden right now. It was about 350 combo in. So it is a significant combo lead for Sweden off that one drop. Not and Saika both finding misaims there. About halfway through the map, though, makes it null and void for Ramon 2's drop. That is just straight up combo advantage now for Countryless West. A whole full combo up, plus extra combo on Ramon 2 over either of the supporting members from Saika and Not. Riot does finally find a miss-aim for Countryless West. Drops the slider break there. Rebo, however, is still holding on to the FC, and Lightwine has broken now multiple times. And so it is not going to matter even at the ending here with those misses from Rebo. Already 300,000 score up for Countryless West, and going to tie it up 1-1 after their first pick. All right, looking for a next pick for Sweden. I think they still have quite a few options here at the moment. If they do want to go for something similar to Nomad 5, they'll be picking the double time 2. Otherwise, there are a couple of places where I think they can still contest in terms of the expected scores for either team. We talked earlier about things like Nomad 3, Nomad 4, and potentially Hidden 1 as being okay picks for Sweden in this matchup. Nomad 3 in particular has the biggest score difference in favor of Sweden, looking at the qualifier scores. You don't normally expect some of these Sweden members to be good at that flow aim, but they basically do a full roster swap, I think, going from the speed players and stream players on their roster to the flow aim players instead. I mean, free mod 1, relatively similar, actually, in terms of the style of mapping to Nomad 3, and a pick that I think makes a lot of sense for Sweden, given that. More stream-focused than something like the Nomad 3 that we have here, mapped by Suki Nathan. This one is really focused around sort of really wonky stream shapes and continually changing streams, rather than something like the Nomad 3, which is focused around quick bursts of high spacing, either snap aim or flow aim alt pattern. This one, a far more continuous test of flow aim using acceleration, deceleration, high spacing, wiggle, you name it, it's in this map. Waiting on the mods to be taken for both of these teams. Riot, Rebo, Ramon 2 in for Countryless West. I'm kind of expecting double hard rock for Countryless West on this map. I think Riot and Ramon 2 would both be very happy to take those. We could see a hidden taken for Ramon 2, but frankly, I think it's more likely to see double hard rock. No, okay, so hidden for Rebo instead. Gonna be hidden for Skilla and hard rock for Lightwine. Note that you can double mod in this tournament. It is okay to just go double hard rock or double hidden and then have your other player take no mod. Both teams here, however, opting for 2 unique mods instead. It is entirely a matter of comfort that the players go for these. Early break for Ramon 2. That's what you get for your drawing, sir. Another break for Skilla alongside Lightmine, both the modded players for Sweden, dropping Knott's the only full combo now for Sweden on the no mod. Rebo dropping the hidden does bode a little bit better for Sweden. Riot dropping the Hard Rock FC as well. Now it is Knott alone holding the combo as Ramon 2 drops the last remaining combo for Countryless West. Sweden now off the back of Knott's no mod combo, poised to take the score lead. Going into the slow section in just a little bit longer, and it should swap over to them. And basically all eyes should be on Knots right now. As long as he holds on to this full combo, this lead is insurmountable for Countryless West, as Sweden still has the only FC in the lobby. At this point, I think the lead is insurmountable regardless of whether Knots holds, nearing the end of the map with 99.73, now 65% accuracy. Knots with that full combo looking to put up one of the top scores on this map through the weekend, 986k, a 4100 FC, to ensure victory for Sweden on their second pick. Really solid overall scores from Sweden as well. That 600k from Skilla on the hidden, really helping contribute to the victory there. Lightwine rounding it out did not end up mattering that they had a rougher time of that map than most other players in the lobby, as we did have, you know, two of the top scores from their teammates. So did not end up mattering one bit. Sweden still looking pretty solid on a lot of these early picks, which is what you want to see from some of these teams who did qualify in, you know, near the bottom of the bracket. This is seed 3 versus seed 14 right now, and seed 14 in Sweden is still putting up some really solid scores. Looking for Countryless West to try to kind of flex their muscle on some other comfort picks. You have stuff like, apparently DT2 is going to be the pick now, which I am not sure I totally agree with. This is a really interesting pick for Countryless West to go with because of the fact that Sweden first picked Nomad 5. We've seen Nomad 2 as one type of stream map go the way of Countryless West, and Freemod 1 as another type of stream map go the way of Sweden. We've already seen one speed map go the way of Sweden. Maybe we'll see the same type of thing. It'll just depend on the type of speed map, exactly which way it goes. But this map is very, very similar to Nomad 5, and that's what gives me a little bit of pause with this one. 225 BPM on this map as opposed to the about 235 on Satori de Pon in Nomad 5. Really, really, just bursts. Just bursts and some longer streams in this map, and that's really it. And that's why I say it's extremely similar to Nomad 5. All you have really is bursts and jumps in this map, and the jumps really aren't that difficult. So I think it's an odd pick to go for Countryless West, specifically because you expect Sweden to pick this anyway at some point throughout the match. If they already first picked Nomad 5, they probably picked this anyway. But we'll see how it works. It might just be the sort of comfort pick that they, you know, are looking to take advantage of anyway. If they always three-way full combo, then who's to say this is a bad pick? Yagako, Saika, and Lightwine going in for this one once again. Same roster from Nomad 5 for Sweden. Wolfie subbing in for Donit as compared to Nomad 5 for Countryless West. And no players with any breaks so far. Ever so slight AC lead for Sweden right now. The SS on Saika helping to contribute to that, but largely the extra little bit of accuracy on Lightwine over Riot and that SS over Wolfie. Yagako having a tough time acking though, and that is going to give the lead over to Countryless West. Saika, the SS breaks for Sweden, drops the combo there halfway through the map, or 2/3 of the way through the map. And that is now instantly massive score lead over to Countryless West. 200k in climbing, but Wolfie does trade the miss. Close going into the ending here for both teams. Any misses at this point can completely decide the map. Wolfie missing again gives a bigger combo lead over to Saika. Yagako trades the miss though, and that is another full combo gone for Sweden. 2 FCs on Ramon and Riot. And those 2 FCs are going to make the difference for that map, just barely getting them over the finish line. Less than 100,000 score up over Sweden on DT2, but it does do the trick, and they do tie it up 2-2. Looks like it's already going to be picked for Sweden here. They're going to go with Hidden 2 now. Another flow aim focused pick for either of these teams. We have really only seen either flow aim or speed get picked so far. Countryless West winning one of those flow aim picks in Nomad 2, Sweden winning the other. And of course the teams trading 1-1 on speed maps also, with Sweden winning Nomad 5 and Countryless West winning DT2. So this is a very, very close match between these teams who have, like I was talking about at the start, very similar skill sets, similar weaknesses, similar strengths for both of these teams. And they are both definitely just playing into their strengths right now, picking speeds, picking streams, and picking flow aim. And that is it. Let's see if this trend continues if Sweden picks something like the Nomad 3 next. They do also have Hard Rock 2 as another alt map if they want to go towards something like that. It'll be interesting, that's for sure. I'm wondering when we are going to see Skilla come in for Sweden, one of their best players and one of their most well-rounded players. Looks like they have finally joined the lobby as well. Wolfie Rebo and Ramon 2 in for Countryless West. Ramon 2 has been in for all 4 maps so far. Looks like Wolfie is swapping out for Riot. Okay. Let's see how this map goes for both of these teams. Saika and Knots rounding it out for Sweden on their 3rd pick. Looks like Rebo and Knots not wanting to load in here. We'll just panic real quick and get everybody into this one.
In a desperate conflict with a ruthless enemy.
No breaks for anybody in these early alt sections of this pick. This map really focused a lot on the flow aim, as well as some very light slider aim type of stuff. Otherwise, just reading focus here. Saika dropping during some of these reading patterns. The stop and go triples in this map can be a little bit difficult to read properly, especially with tournament nerves. Full combo to 2 though in the favor of Countryless West because of that. Not quite halfway through, and we do see a second miss from Saika. Over halfway through, still with the 3-way full combo for Countryless West. 2 FCs on Sweden still for Skilla and Knots. Saika has recovered the combo at this point, but they are still down just about 200,000 score from Countryless West's score margin at the moment.
Let battle commence.
Riot misses on the transition here into the last part of the map. That ending transition is really rough. Saika matches the miss, however, which is basically the saving grace for Countryless West. Knots now finds a slider break as well going into the ending. And I think that may just be it. Rebo and Ramon 2 still holding on to the full combo. Skilla, the only FC right now for Sweden. And that seems like it's going to wrap it up for this pick. Our first break point in this match going to be Countryless West taking Hidden 2 off of Sweden.
In a desperate conflict with a ruthless enemy.
Looking for the next pick now for Countryless West. They want to double pick, which suggests DT1 as the next pick for Countryless West. And it's going to be, no, DT3, actually. Okay. This is going to be an interesting one to see. This DT3 is really rather spiky at the start here. If the players can hit this starting stream at the beginning of the map, they have a very, very good chance of hitting the rest of it, provided they can keep their aim together on a lot of the other 270 BPM sort of alt-focused patterns. Hopefully that is the case. Hopefully they do manage to keep all of that together as they get from the intro section into the rest of the map. You're going to want players who have the ability to, A, hit that pattern at the start and actually, play the speed at parts of the map correctly, but then B, be able to transition into the rest of the relatively aim-focused map correctly. Riot, Wolfie, and Ramon 2 going to be the members of choice for Countryless West on this map, facing up against Yageko, Saika, and Knots from Sweden. Wolfie not wanting to join in. Hoping the panic works. Looks like we do actually have some early misses for Wolfie. Riot and Yagako trading misses there alongside Saika. Ramon 2, it looks like the only player who actually hit the stream at the start of the map. And Knots holding some combo to match what's coming out of Wolfie. Ramon 2 missing on nothing, missing on one of the jumps there at the end of the map, but I don't think it matters. Map is basically over at this point. And that's all she wrote for this pick. Very, very short. We did not see the stream at the start, unfortunately, but it did look like a too many early breaks situation for Sweden there, as everybody on Countryless West able to contribute at least as much as somebody on the side of Sweden. And so we consolidate the break point for Countryless West and bring it up to 4-2 now in their favor. Seed number 3 with a decisive advantage in this match now for the first time. We had been trading blows up until this point for both of these teams, and now third seed in the tournament, Countryless West looking the part and up a break point over Sweden. Looks like it's going to be Nomad 4, the next pick for Sweden in this match. They did have relatively close qualifier scores on Nomad 3 and Nomad 4. Actually, decisive advantage on Nomad 3 for Sweden in qualifiers over Countryless West, but Nomad 4, one of the maps where they had extremely close scores together. A lot of maps like that, honestly, for these two teams, which I think is why this match has been so close overall, because their strengths and weaknesses, again, are pretty similar for both of these teams. And Sweden seems to be performing pretty well on the day, to their part. Nomad 4 going to be the pick for them, and we're likely to get some very different-looking rosters in for both of these teams. You do have some all-rounders like Skilla who are definitely going to stay in. Same for Ramonsu and Riot, kind of your all-rounders for Countryless West there. Again, those two players, Ramonsu and Riot, 2 out of the top 10 performers overall in qualifiers, looking at the individual rankings for them. Those scores were calculated via doing match costs on the entire qualifiers runs for all teams. It's going to be Rebo joining them in for the roster on Countryless West. Skilla joined up by Blue and Knots. First time we've seen Blue in this qualifiers match. He's another player I think to draw some attention to for Team Sweden. Really solid on everything besides your tapping maps and low approach rate stuff. Definitely not a hidden player, but very good on your assorted Nomad picks and Hard Rock. Rebo with a miss right before the second drop. Skilla with an early drop, but not matching the break from Rebo. Does keep this in the favor of Countryless West by a pretty small margin. We're not yet at the transition from the high velocity sliders into the really super low velocity sliders. There's the first slow slider, and Ramon too gets slow slidered going into this section of the map. Oh man, that is not what you want to see for the side of Countryless West. Riot still holding on to the full combo in opposition to Blue at the moment. Rebo matching the combo coming out of Knots at least, but Skilla with some free combo right now for Sweden. And Riot and Ramon too both break on the first fast slider out of the slow section. That is most definitely going to be point for Sweden at this point in the map. Rebo the only combo on Countryless West and matching the smallest combo on the side of Sweden from Knots. Skilla and Blue both find misses actually here near the end, but I don't think it's going to be enough to swing the lead back over, especially with that miss from Riot coming through. Knots, crucially, has been able to hold on long enough, I think, to stave off the combo advance from Rebo, who, to his credit, did manage to hold all through that ending section, but unfortunately not the difference maker that they needed from Countryless West side to take that break point as well. Sweden with another solid pick on their fourth pick, just the one break point so far. Looking at Countryless West to pick up another map that they can at least keep this breakpoint together with. We have not seen really any aim maps get picked so far. It has been all flow aim or other skill sets. None of the raw aim maps at all getting picked. And in fact, one of them banned out in Hidden One. It's going to be Nomad 1, though, the next pick for Countryless West, and that is going to be our first basic aim consistency test picked up by either team. Countryless West going for the quote-unquote RNG pick here in Kanjano Pixel, 6.75 star no mod 1 for this pool. Very, very basic map, 200 BPM aim consistency. If you know what no mod 1 is as an archetype, you know exactly what to expect out of this map, which is to say relatively consistently difficult jumps for about 4 minutes. Not a lot else going on here, folks. Lineups for both of these teams looking like Riot, Ramon2, and Remo. I'm going to expect Blue to come in for Sweden on this map. I think it would be quite troll if he was not in for this pick. This is quite literally exactly what they put Blue on the team for. So the fact that Saika is in this lobby is really worrying for me. You expect to see Blue in on the maps that he full comboed in qualifiers. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Doing a little trolling right now for Sweden. All right, Lightwine, Skilla, and Blue in for Sweden. Riot, Ramon2, and Rebo here for Countryless West. Nobody finding any early drops on this map. It's a reverse choke for Lightwine, but really not going to matter at all, frankly speaking. The accuracy can do more than that score. Triple SS for Countryless West right now. Double SS for Sweden. Skilla dropping a 100 to make me a liar. And still the triple SS for Countryless West after that first KI time. SS for Blue intact as well on the side of Sweden. And it is still just the reverse choke for Lightwine, the only break so far in this map. Finally, a couple hundred dropped for Ramon2 and Riot on the side of Countryless West. Even things out a little bit, you know. They can't have 3 SSs, that's too much. This is a really rough slider break for Remo right there, halfway through the map, basically. And that is now full combo advantage to Lightwine. And Ramon dropping the combo as well. Ramon2, Mr. Hammy TR, doing a little bit of trolling there in the middle of the map and giving a second FC advantage over to Sweden on this pick. And it's looking like that consolidated breakpoint from earlier on in the match is going to get completely negated now by Sweden. This No Mod 1 roster for Sweden, not to be underestimated, man. They've got some very, very good, consistent players on this team. Blue does find a drop there, but with Lightwine and Skilla having the combos intact, I don't think it matters at all. They're already over 200,000 score up on Countryless West, and Sweden really just needs to hold on to some of that advantage right now. Nothing more. Incredible. Riveting gameplay right now. Who will unfreeze first, chat? Who will unfreeze first? Oh, it's Ramon2 who froze. Okay, there we go. Fantastic gameplay there. Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter what Ramon2's score is anyway. Lightwine and Skilla hold. And as long as that's true, the game could care less what Ramon2's score is by the end of this map. And yeah, they managed to hold till the end, so it would not have mattered at all what Hammy's score was by the end. Oh, there he goes. Hey, look at that. Huh. Look at me, Ma. I got the stage to myself right now. Anyway, yeah, not going to matter what Hammy's score is by the end of this. Looks like he closes it out just fine, but yeah, little rough there. Hammy? Tournament client. All right, there we go. Regardless, that is the consolidated breakpoint taken away by Sweden now. No breakpoint difference in this match at all at this point, as Sweden manages to reset that breakpoint from earlier. Countryless West, that Nomad 1 pick not working out for them, and that should give some confidence to Sweden in going for some of the other aim picks that are left up. Hard Rock 1, DT 1, 3mod 2 come to mind. Couple of other picks that they might want to go for, Nomad 3 and Hard Rock 2 here, as those are the sort of alt maps that they have had a good time with so far in this match. And they are going to go with Hard Rock 2. It's going to be one of those alt picks picked up by Sweden now. Big shot by Toby Fox. Heatwave's expert difficulty on this set is, I mean, it's pretty standard alt. There's not a lot going on here. I think the biggest thing you can point out in this one is like polygonal alt patterns, which can be a little bit awkward sometimes. But overall, a pretty simple map, I want to say. The patterning in this one, not all too complex. Some really fast sliders in this map also. That is a thing that I remember from Showcase. I haven't seen this one this weekend on the broadcast, so it's been a little bit since I've seen the map. But yeah, I remember some really, really fast sliders in this map that you do need to aim. See if those catch anyone off from either team here. Waiting on the roster to get filled out for Sweden. Expecting Skilla to come in for this one of their hard rock players and general all-rounder for the team. Knots and Blue currently sitting in lobby waiting for a fourth player. Oh, Blue is also dead, apparently. There we go. Okay, I think tech issues have been resolved at this point, so we're likely ready to go now. Not Sugala and Blue in for Sweden, Donut Riot and Ramon 2 in for Countryless West. And we are finally into a big shot by Toby Fox. Couple of early breaks coming out of Donut and Ramon 2. Knott's also missing right at the start of the map in the first 50 combo or so. Skill of matching one of the misses coming out of Countryless West so far. Blue and Riot both holding on to the full combos. Extra combo a little bit on Knott's at the moment. These are those fast back and forth sliders we were talking about earlier on. Riot does find the drop there. Blue does not. Nobody else finding really any breaks in this map. As long as these combos keep up for Sweden as well, this is basically an over pick, as now Donut finds another slider break for Countryless West. The only combo they have is on Riot, just matching Skilla, but Knots and Blue, man, are just popping off on this one. Blue still on the full combo, Knots still on that reverse choke from earlier on in the map. Really solid overall performance for Sweden on that map. The one miss reverse choke from Knots and FC from Blue alongside 700k from Skilla is bound to be one of the best team scores on that map all weekend. Really solid overall play. It's going to be double time one, the next pick for Countryless West, pretty much instantly picked up by Ramon 2 as soon as the map is over. Wakse loop by Nekomata Wakai. I think this pick is a little interesting. Blue does not go in for this for Sweden, pretty crucially, I think. It looks like Skilla also does not go in for this, as we do have some rosters already in the lobby. Saika, Yagako, and Lightwine in right now for Sweden. I think this is a good pick for Countryless West because of the roster you see in. I think Sweden's consistency largely lies in some of the other members that we have seen so far for this team. Saika certainly has enough tournament experience to be very, very consistent, but I think the members like Skilla and Blue specifically have a lot of tournament experience and a lot of nerve control as compared to some of the other members on this roster. And those are the members who took back that breakpoint initially for Sweden, right? So you want to be able to lean into them if you are Sweden. They're clearly performing well on the day, and this map does not allow Sweden to do that, which is why I like it as a pick for Countryless West, to say nothing of the fact that Countryless West scored 3 mil on DT1 in qualifiers compared to Sweden's 2.4 mil, if I'm being generous there. It's actually rounded up to 2.4 mil. So, yeah, overall really solid pick for Countryless West on this map. Over tap for Saika, going to be the cause of that miss. Likely misread on those jumps. You see a couple misses for Saika and Donut also. Donut missing after Saika does actually give combo advantage over to Sweden, but the accuracy for Countryless West is really, really good. Not going to matter too much if Riot finds that miss halfway through the map. Only Ramon 2 holding on to the full combo right now for Countryless West. Captain Hammy TR, the only player to give them some hope here in this match. And he's going to see that now at this break. Yagiko and Lightwine still with combo at the moment and still able to clutch out an early win for Sweden. An upset win over the 3rd seed here would be massive for this team. Saika finding another slider break isn't going to help the case, but as long as these 2 full combos are intact, I don't see a way that Countryless West pulls off the comeback here. That score is not budging right now from Sweden's side. No misses from either side coming out at the moment either. That extra miss from Saika kept it close, but not close enough, as that extra 102,000 score is going to decide the difference in this match. It's going to make Sweden the victors here in round of 16 for another upset match in the early stages. We have had 1, 2, 3, 4 upset matches out of 8 in the round of 16. It has been a wild ride through this early bracket stage now. And yeah, that is a hell of a way to kick off the tournament with 4 upset matches out of 8 in the round of 16 bracket stage. Very, very interesting start to the tournament for these teams. Countryless West, the 3rd seed, finding themselves down in the losers bracket. And if you take a look at the bracket right now, it is a very, very grim picture for some of these losers bracket teams. You have United States versus United Kingdom, Seed 4 versus Seed 5 in the losers bracket next weekend. You have Countryless West versus Australia, 3 versus 6 in the losers bracket next weekend as well. Russia versus Poland being another one of those matchups. Netherlands versus Brazil being another one of those matchups in the losers bracket. Good luck to Netherlands in that matchup. But yeah, it has shaped up to be a very interesting bracket. France versus China in the winners bracket as your 1st seed versus 8th seed matchup. Japan versus Hong Kong, what would have been 4 versus 5, now 13 versus 12 in the winners bracket. Germany versus Indonesia, the expected matchup there. And then another double upset part of the losers bracket with Sweden beating Countryless West and South Korea beating Australia, resulting in Sweden versus South Korea seed 14 versus seed 11 in the winners bracket next weekend. It looks like, going to take a short break before we do the map pool showcase for quarterfinals for next weekend. So stay tuned for a ping about when the map pool showcase is going to go on. If you want to track the tournament a little bit more, you can join the Discord server for the 3-Digit World Cup. That is where all of the match results are tracked, where all of the reschedules are announced, and you have a full page of links plus any stream announcements that go on there. So join there if you do want to keep track of the tournament anymore. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll keep you updated on when the map pool showcase is set to happen, and we'll see you then for it.
だけ